You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Sounds like some bad movie.
Oh yeah, baby, here we are. Doing it again. In all its video and audio problems. Huh. Look at this. Are you there, Mr. Wilson?
I forgot to unmute. Are we good?
We are good.
Cool.
Here, let me throw you in the frame. Ooh, there you are. We're doing something a little different this week. Joey went and got himself a 40-inch ultra-wide monitor, which is awesome. If you don't have one, get one. But the problem is, what I used to do for the setup is I had two separate monitors. I put all of the stuff on one. I won't bore anyone with the details, but the second monitor was just for the video, slideshows, us being on the screen. But I have such a huge monitor now, I don't need multiple monitors anymore. So I had to reset everything up again. But I think I got it. We'll see what this looks like. When we're done. So we'll see. We shall see.
So welcome everybody, the Moviesucktastic.
Welcome.
Yes, a brief hiatus. We're back and we're reviewing Bulletproof Monk.
That's right. That is correct.
I just spilled tequila on my desk.
Oh, you okay? You need to step away for a second?
No, I'm fine. Nothing here is important. It's just annoying.
So I've been playing a lot of Rocket League lately because both of my boys, they play Rocket League, right? So they're like, Dad, play with us. And I used to play the game actually quite a bit. Last night, I don't know, I've been playing for a week. Again, I started up again, and I have all these rewards to claim. And my son comes in, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't claim any of these rewards." Leans over me, takes over the keyboard and mouse, starts clicking all these things, spills an entire full glass of lemonade all over my desk, right on like the base of where the new monitor is. It's just like, dude.
It just reminds me of that episode of Silver Spoons.
Oh, shut up.
Where he spilt the milk on his father's stamp collection.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Figures the one time I crack open a drink in like a month and I spill it immediately. So yeah, that's a sign. Don't put the fucking drink away.
It happens.
But yeah, we're doing Bulletproof Monk. Chow Yun Fat. Now this film was supposed to be a John Woo film.
No, really?
And, yeah, he was the original director slated. Instead, they got Paul Hunter. I forgot
now that you say that, there's probably 15 different spots you could throw in doves easily.
Yeah. This seems to be the only thing Paul Hunter got to do. I think it was he did a music video a few years back, a decade ago, but this was like his big break, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, and he didn't do well.
You don't say.
Now, before we get into the film, I will say, though, my feeling on John Woo doing this is 50-50.
Well, you got to remember
because
at the time he was making Hard Target came out in 96, then Broken Arrow in what 98, something like that, and then Face Off in like 2000. John Woo was hot. Could do no wrong,
yeah.
John Woo. Although, what was that one movie he did with Ben Affleck? What was that? Payday. That was I think he. You know what? Paycheck. You know what? I think he did that movie instead of this movie because I think Paycheck came out around the same time, like 2002.
I can see that.
Something like that.
And definitely a mistake on both parts.
Yeah.
But my only problem was I don't think having John Woo direct Bulletproof Monk would have solved one of the main problems, which is too much talking, not enough fighting.
Oh my God! So much stupid dialogue.
Because it's easy to forget that Woo can go heavy on the melodrama. I remember when a bunch of us went to the theater to see in the Village, the Village Theater, or it was the Center Theater in the Village. Anyway, we all went to see A Better Tomorrow.
Oh, right. I wasn't there for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and we're all psyched and like yeah, but we forgot that between like the 2 or 3 great gun sequences, there's a shitload of family drama, friendship drama, life drama, just all sorts of drama shit.
Yep.
And before you get the action takes so long to get to in that one. So I feel like he might have actually made this worse in some ways.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But
so I had my years.
Like
my years were way off. Hard Target was 93. I did not think that came out in 93. I mean, holy shit. Broken Arrow 96, Face Off 97, and he did do Paycheck the same year this came out. So he passed on this and went and did Paycheck instead.
And also Face Off, there's another one. Again, I like Face Off, but it does have a lot of weaknesses. The first weakness being hiring John Woo to do a sci-fi film. Because the first thing he does is get rid of all the sci-fi. But like remember all the stuff with the face and the kid?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's all Woo. That's 100% Woo. Woo loves that. He loves this porn on the melodrama. He loves he loves his heroes to have a heart. Damn it.
He always did. Always did.
So I can't necessarily say this would have been a shootout. Before we talk about the film any further, do you want to give us a run through of the synopsis, as it were?
Synopsis. Yeah. So the movie starts out in 1943. It starts out in 1943, where you see John Woo, Jesus Christ, look what you did, Chow Yun-fat, or the monk with no name, dueling with somebody else. You soon find out that that's his master, and he's, in his final lesson before, right? Well, a lot of wire work. This movie had a lot of wire work, and wire work had started to become popular again. At least in American film.
In American.
Yeah, in Asian cinema, wire work, it was popular for a really long time. I blame Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I do.
Yes.
That movie,
yes.
I mean, and while that's a really good film, that really brought back in full force wire work. Like in The Matrix 2. I still have a soft spot for The Matrix. I don't care if the wire work can be cheesy, but it just... Anyway, so they're having this duel, and then the Nazis come in, led by Carl Roden, and
who I could have sworn was the guy from the Zone of Interest.
Oh, the 30 years later.
As a matter of fact, this film works as a sequel.
Really?
I feel like it does. Because the guy looks almost just like him. I think certain Germans, once they have that certain haircut, they all look alike.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess
so. But he's a good nasty Nazi.
yeah, he's not bad. So he comes and storms the village because the monk with no name's master is guarding an ancient scroll, and he passes that on to monk with no name, Chow Yun-fat, and also giving him like the power of invincibility to guard the scroll through the years. And
hence the bulletproof part.
correct. So then that whole, he falls off a cliff, presumably you think he's dead, but he's bulletproof and he won't die because he's guarding the scroll. And then fast forward 60 years where he is being chased for the scroll, where he meets Sean William Scott's character, Carr.
Okay. Pause it there before we go any further. I want to talk about the opening, the encapsulated 19.
You're breaking up.
Said?
You're breaking up. Sorry.
God, fucking damn it. Can you hear me now?
You got to tell your family not to use any internet when we do the podcast.
Don't blame me. Everything's internet's fine. It's not the internet.
Okay.
Am I good now?
You're fine now.
Okay, so 1943 you said, correct?
That is correct.
All right. So the first thing I want to point out is bridge fight, Monkey Boy.
Monkey Boy, yes.
Right. Monkey Boy watches bridge fight. Monkey Boy watches Chow Yun-Fat get scroll. Monkey Boy watches Nazis fight Chow Yun-Fat. Monkey Boy witnesses all. Why does Monkey Boy witness all? Why does Monkey Boy have a monkey?
Because he's Monkey Boy.
And
he'll grow up one day to be Monkey Man.
And one of the biggest problems with this film is also the PG-13, which comes into play when you slaughter a bunch of monks and there's like no blood spray anywhere.
Right.
It's just like we're kind of candy coating this. This is genocide. Let's talk about this.
This is a comic.
Adults.
This is a comic that I did not read. I don't know if you have.
No one did. No one did. It was like this obscure independent press. No one ever read this comic book.
Okay. I was just wondering if you had, and the comic was more graphic or, yeah.
No idea. I'm assuming it was a comic book, so I'm assuming definitely more graphic than this. Just a basic assumption.
I'll fast forward probably 3/4 of the way through the movie. I mean, there's a scene where she's talking to Chow Yun-Fat, this woman, the granddaughter of Carl Roden. She's talking to him and she's saying, "Oh, these tattoos, do they go all the way down?" And then literally gets on her knees and you hear her, undo his pants. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm going to have to search you inch by inch." And I'm like, I think I would be uncomfortable if I was watching that with my children. It's like, what is she talking about? What does she mean? I'm like, don't worry about it.
I feel like making it PG-13 kind of like belays the fact that we're talking about Nazis and war atrocities and stuff. It's like none of this is subject material for a family film. At least Gremlins had like it was like you were in the background of, and it wasn't PG-13, it was PG, but you know what I mean.
No, it was
even that. There was like a wholesome setting. And
wasn't
it was
PG-13? Didn't
that's
Gremlins create the PG-13? Oh no. PG-13 was created because of Gremlins and Temple of Doom.
Yeah, that's why I used it as a reference.
Yeah.
It's not kid friendly in the first place. So toning it down to make the the martial artists fighting the Nazis kid friendly is just kind of not good.
Not good. Agreed.
No. Also, I really liked how he played that horn. I almost used that at the opening. I may start using that in the opening of the show.
It is in the opening. Oh, you mean like for our opening?
Permanently.
Permanently.
Yeah, like
because you have it in the opening video. You did put it in that.
I think that's all I wanted to see at that opening, but it just, and then so when he gets shot, he looks at it and he feels it, and like, okay, so is he actually hurt or not? And this is the only time we're seeing blood, and it's when somebody doesn't die. I'm confused. It's just, it really doesn't set a good tone.
Yeah.
Because it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. They're not going to use the fucking swords.
No, that's not.
At this point, they're cutting pizza with them. That's it. So they have to go out of their way. I haven't seen the new ones, so I don't know if they actually do get. I'm assuming the new ones they say fuck it.
I haven't seen any of the new ones either, including the new animated one that came out, I think last year or the year before, that got really good reviews.
I'm not going to put us on a tangent, but I am going to add that to the wheel.
Yeah, let's do it. By the way, I don't believe we're spinning the wheel tonight.
I don't know. We might be. It's up to you.
Well, no, because our next episode is episode 420.
Yeah, but I don't have any ideas. So
we talked back and forth about what we were going to do.
All right. Well, let's hit that at the end. I don't want to lose track. I'm sorry.
I mean, we could hash that out at the end of the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So I cut you off when you introduced Sean William. Poor Sean Williams.
Yeah, I mean, he's fresh off of the American Pie films. All of those are hits.
This is his big break.
Yes, because this was a big budget film, wasn't it? I'm going to look it up real quick, but I have a feeling that this movie cost a lot of money.
They made it hoping for a franchise. The whole film ends like, okay, this is the setup for our sequels now. I mean, they wanted it so bad you could taste it.
Oh, I know.
And Sean William Scott, I read that he dropped like 22 pounds in the 3 months he was training for this. It's obvious when you watch him that he trained in various forms of martial arts so he could do certain things, and I thought he nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, the movie cost $52 million, and it came out in April, so you know that they were pushing for a spring, hoping it had long legs into summer type release, and it made $37.7 million. I mean, technically a bomb, but it did make some money.
Yeah, but it just no one liked it, and I saw this in the theater. Did you?
No, this is the first time I've seen it. I've never seen it before.
Oh,
I've known of it.
That theater.
I've known of it, but I've just been avoiding it forever.
I left that theater disappointed. That would be my one-word review of this film: disappointment. This film is an embodiment of disappointment.
I mean, when you got Chow Yun-fat, and we grew up watching his films, you expect certain things. Now, I liked Chow Yun-fat in this. I didn't dislike him in this, and I liked Sean William Scott in this. I didn't like everything in here. I didn't.
What about Jamie King?
She's just something pretty to look at. Other than that, I didn't really care.
I didn't care for her myself. I thought I don't know. I don't know. I know something about her just didn't work for me. I didn't really feel any kind of. I didn't feel any. I hate when people use that whole chemistry nonsense, but in this case, I got to say that's what it is. No chemistry. I just feel like she's tagging along because the film needs a third person.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it later, but they wrote it in for that ending for her. I mean, the end of the movie, the way they ended it.
We'll
get to it, but they did it on purpose.
Yeah, so Chow bumps into Sean William Scott, whose name is Carr.
Carr.
K-A-R. Carr. And Carr bumps him on the subway running from the cops because he's a dirty thief.
He's a pickpocket. He's gonna pick your pocket. He's gonna take your shit.
Right. So they meet up, and then through a series of incidents, Chow believes that he is the chosen one.
Well, he starts believing that. Well, he says he thinks he has potential after he robs him, and then he moves into Mr. Funktastic's place.
Yeah, well, he robs him, and then he's kidnapped, I guess. Technically, it's abduction by Mr. Funktastic's gang. And then he has a fight sequence with them, which again he fucking nails.
Which, by the way, sounds a lot like Moviesucktastic.
Except, did you notice his tattoo at all?
It says Fucktastic.
Yes, thank you. And I personally think it was supposed to be Fucktastic, and that was I think that was a PG-13 casualty because he's in it's in the credits as Funktastic, and they have that changed just so it kind of covers it, so you can't really read it.
Right.
But we can all read.
Yep.
So yeah, that's definitely another casualty there. But while he's fighting, one of what were the three prophecies? Was like you'll see the next chosen one fighting under a flock of cranes, and this time they're like actually mechanical cranes.
Right.
So you have that kind of wordplay going throughout the whole film, and he fulfills all three prophecies. And Chow's like, "Oh, you're the chosen one.
You're it. You're the chosen one." You know what? I think I'm gonna Photoshop Mr. Fucktastic and put Moviesucktastic on him.
I like that.
I think I'm gonna. I honestly think I'm gonna do it.
I like it.
I can Photoshop
Maybe
that easily.
I'll get that tattoo. I'll get that Moviesucktastic right here.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Moviesucktastic. I'll see if
a little
Holly
wordy.
says yes. Holly might say yes. You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
I think it's wordy. Just stick to Moviesucktastic, I think.
That okay. All right. The Mister's implied.
It's absolutely implied.
But the chosen one, I got lost on what we're gonna hit next on this.
We were talking about how he was abducted in Mr. Funktastic's place and the prophecies.
The three prophecies. You're the chosen one. Now, while all this is happening, the Nazi he fought back in 1943 has a bunch of goons out after him for the scroll because he wants immortality, because he knows that's why he was there in the first place. He wanted the immortality scroll.
Right. And he's been chasing him ever since for 60 years. He's getting old, and Chow is the same age.
Okay.
So
now here's where I question movie logic once again.
Okay.
It's made very clear by the evil Fraulein, Ilsa, that
Nina.
What was her name? What
Nina.
actress played her?
It's
Nina. Yeah, Ilsa.
Something. Her last name is Smurfit.
That's right. Yeah, Victoria Smurfit.
Victoria Smurfit.
Yeah.
Smurfit.
I didn't give her her last name. Yeah, so she runs this museum about atrocities, war atrocities,
right,
and human atrocities, and the whole idea is, I'm hiding we're hiding the Nazi leader where nobody would look for him in a museum against that kind of thing. And I was thinking, no one's looking for this guy.
no one.
You could just is there like a warehouse district? All you need is like some industrial real estate. You're fucking good. What is this with the fucking front? You don't need a front. You're 90. You're like 100-year-old Nazi. No one's looking for you. If they are, they're looking in Argentina. Don't. It seems so except for like the big finale, which isn't even that big really when you consider it. It just seemed like a waste of like it needed to happen somewhere, I guess, but. Beyond that, the logic just doesn't click for me.
Sorry. Listen, I wasn't going into this with high hopes.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. I had never seen it. This is the first time I'm watching it. It's the last time I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to watch this again.
Just like John Woo would have done, a lot of talking in this film, a lot of table conversations, a lot of talking in front of nice murals in the background. A lot of talking.
I will say this. I'm looking at the slideshow right now, and he's up on the screen. The makeup for him to make him old was actually quite good.
Yeah. I remember thinking to myself too, like I would have given an Oscar nom just for that. That's like really good. I mean, I could be wrong. A real makeup expert may tell us we're both idiots, but I thought it looked really good.
No, I thought he looked fine. I think the makeup to make Chow Yun-Fat look old later in the movie looked really bad. Like
really? I thought
no. Chow Yun-Fat looked awful. You know what he looked like?
Like a mummy.
He looked like when they make old people, old Asian people in video games, like that. It looked like that.
Okay.
Like Shenmue. Like it looked horrible.
Let's not get all Shenmue about this.
Yeah, Shenmue 1, 2, and 3.
Now, Chow Yun-Fat, I mean, that's the big problem with this film. Like you said, we were watching his films years before this film came out. The Asian bootlegs, Hard Boiled, Bullet to the Head. Bullet to the Head, Bullet in the Head. Yeah, I think it's Bullet in the Head.
A bullet in the head.
Yeah, a bullet in the head. Thank you. Better Tomorrow, 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
And like Chow was just known as like the two gun guy, as the gun guy, as the action guy, hard boiled cop. Fuck you, hard boiled cop. And so when you put him in a film called Bulletproof Monk, and on the posters he's got two guns and there's bullets coming at him, you're like, fuck, Chow Yun-fat's gonna kick some fucking ass. Then you get there and realize it's a PG-13 family made for kids movie, so he's only going to use those two guns once, and when he does, he's not going to shoot anybody. And after that scene, he never touches a gun again. And you're just going to spend the rest. If they had done it at the end, at least it would have been like, oh, finally. But instead, it was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, and then like just another hour of disappointment when it never happens again. No, instead we're going to do we're going to recreate the bridge fight from the beginning at the end with pole fighting, because that's what I want to see Chow do, grab a pole.
Yeah.
That's the main problem with it. It's just get anybody else for that role. Also, he's not even known for martial arts. Why is he a martial artist in this? Is Jet Li busy doing The One? We'll talk about a bunch of bad mistakes at the same time.
The One, I think, came out only a year or two before this.
That's what I'm saying.
And then Jackie Chan, he was having a resurgence around the same time with the Rush Hour movies, and Rumble in the Bronx was only like 4 or 5 years earlier, 6 years earlier, something like that.
So much better suited. I mean, at least they gave Chow replacement killers. That was something. But this.
Replacement Killer. Is that the one with Mira Sorvino?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, God, that movie was bad, too.
But at least they had the guns fights. At least you had action.
It did. I haven't revisited.
You fast forward past the plot.
I haven't revisited that movie since I first saw it. But the one, I was actually just thinking about this. It randomly pops up in my head, that movie, where Chow Yun-fat and her are escaping, and then he tells her to drive, and she drives, and she's driving like a crazy person, getting out of Dodge, and she just goes to him, "How did you know I could drive?" And I'm like, what? This is the line you've just delivered, and you're okay with it? Listen,
he did,
I haven't seen the movie in 20 years.
Us Chow Yun-fat fans understand that he was not fluent in English when he took that role. And so the lines they gave him were things that he could pull off in short sentences.
Right.
Because it's not his original language. So but you are correct. It is bad in the film, regardless of what I say. But I can overlook certain things because it's Chow.
Well, of course. And I should revisit it. I don't even think I have it on my Plex.
I'm adding it to the list. So
let's add it to the list. Put it on the wheel.
It's on the wheel. That's really it. It's the back and forth. At one point, Chow and Carr decide to break into the rich girl's house to get her help. It turns out she's a mafia don's daughter. So now they have a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now they can afford. We're not going to get any more guns, but they can afford the remote control cars full of explosives.
Yeah, it's just. Which, by the way. The crash test dummy would burn Babylon Burn. That is going to be the main wallpaper for the website. Which will go up. This will go up right after we're done recording, because I already wrote all the code. It's ready to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
And then when they team up, they go to the Nazis' lair. Apparently, even though they have this entire building that they purchased or built, I would assume built because of the underground lair. Instead of just like putting everything in the building, they have an underground layer with a sewage systems where he drains monks of their essence.
Yeah.
Their magicalness.
They're like he could read their minds with it or something like that.
I feel like was it that, or I thought it was like draining their martial arts essence or their monkishness. It's something stupid. Like it's just totally unclear.
So the synopsis that I already wrote for iTunes and the website basically says Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon meets Remo Williams meets Stifler.
And the screenwriter did not do Sean William Scott any favors, because he's funnier as Stifler than he is in this film.
Oh yeah.
And they leaned on the charming way too much. So I got your necklace. Yeah, dude, that's fucking creepy. But they really should have played the more Stifler part. He should have been like a Guy Gardner character. But no, they had to make him all likable and lovable instead of making him. He was the lovable hard ass. Like, okay, he's a hard ass, but the way he's doing it, he's not mean or anything, so we're okay with it. Even though it was so just. It didn't give him anything to work with.
No, it really didn't.
He needed some sharper dialogue, and he needed some like real character beats. More than just they killed the movie theater owner. Oh, really? Is that why you introduced this poor guy?
No, Mako.
Yeah, I mean, well, he didn't own a dog. So what are we gonna do?
Didn't own a dog. Has a crappy movie theater.
Yeah, I do like the first time you see Chow Yun-fat. He's in modern day. He's standing in New York City holding a newspaper, and the main headline is "Mysterious Asian saves 3 children from fire."
Right, I saw that. And in the bottom left-hand corner is an ad for Adam and Eve sex toys. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice.
I noticed that immediately. It's bottom left-hand corner of that. Yeah.
Is there a coupon? Is it still good?
10% off, I think.
I'll go back and check that.
In the bottom left-hand corner, it's Adam and Eve. It's a big portion of that paper, too. It's like 15% of it.
That's weird product placement.
I mean, I don't know, man. It is weird. Maybe the front page.
Okay.
Who knows? I don't know how they did it.
Now we're talking. So in my version of the film, Sean William Scott doesn't work at a movie theater. He works at a porn, like at a sex toy shop.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, not even a porn theater. Porn theater would be like too much halfway there. No, let's go out full circle. They have the booths in the back, but otherwise it's just straight toys, magazines, videos. Get the fuck out. That kind of shit.
They introduce him cleaning up one of those booths, going, I really need to quit this job," or some shit like that.
Right, and Jamie King should still be a mafia don.
Of course.
That's because she's not gonna. I don't think she's capable of doing anything else. I think she's fine with that.
I think you're right.
And then get rid of Chow Yun-fat and get I don't know, anybody else.
I mean,
anybody
honestly,
else that has with martial art, an actual martial artist.
Get Jackie Chan or Jet Li.
I mean, Chow's not even like known as he was a sex symbol, but in Chinese soap operas. That's where he was before John Woo turned him into an action hero. He was a soap opera star.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he was charming and stuff, but he never had like an action body. That's why they got him in like robed layers. That's why he only shows his body that one time. It's like, okay, but just a little bit, just a little. It's smooth. It's smooth. You can see it's smooth.
Very
but
smooth.
But we're not looking for any sick packs. There's no abs involved with Chow Yun-fat. It's all up here, man. It's just a weird choice. I just everything about this film was just poor casting and poor. William Scott's the only one that should have stayed in this film, but they should have got a better screenwriter.
Yeah, well, that's why we're reviewing it, because if it didn't suck, it wouldn't have made it on the wheel.
When they showed the basement, the underground layer where the Nazi is draining the Asians of their monkishness, that's a sentence I just spoke. You know what it reminded me of? Highlander 4, where they have the Highlanders in like hibernation because they can't bear to live, but they don't want to die and feed the thing.
I'm going to be very honest with you right now.
Never. Okay. No shame in that.
I haven't seen Highlander 3 or 4 or any other ones after that. All right.
The Highlander franchise is going on the list. We're adding a lot of
I didn't even watch the TV show.
Stacy did very heavily.
Meh.
It was very popular with the ladies.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Stupid.
No, seriously. It was.
No, I know, because he had a ponytail. I get it.
Well, it was geared more towards a female audience. There was more romantic stories involved and things of that. It was.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. It's not why I didn't watch it, but
it's like Poldark, but with interesting stuff.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So this is not a complicated film. They really dumbed it down for like a kid's audience. So
Right.
like there's really no secrets or surprises. So you know how it's going to end. You know that the girl's going to end up going to be part of this. It's going to be a team and one, one voice, one heart, two mouths, whatever the hell that was from Rock and Rule.
Oh, it's one voice, one heart. Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing. They are one heart combined. They are two people together.
Right.
They are a
Well,
unity.
when he's getting like indoctrinated, and I'm like, oh, he's going to be young forever, and she's going to become super old. And I was like, they're not going to do that. No way they're going to do that.
That was your first thought?
It wasn't my first thought. My first thought was, there's no way they're going to make him stay young and her be old. So they're probably going to figure something out here to make sure that they're both like taking care of this, and that's exactly what they did. So,
Yeah.
but my thought was, I'm like, there's just no way he's going to be young and she's going to be old. It's just, they're just not going to do it. They'll figure it out.
It's a fair point. Fair point.
So, the interesting thing will be in 60 years, they'll both be like still young and hot, and then they're going to be fucking old, like in an instant.
Now, this is a film that definitely deserves a remake. And when I say remake, what I mean is somebody needs to go back to the source material and do something with it. Anything.
Yeah.
Whoever owns who owns this film's rights, just they got to do something with it. Hope maybe I don't know who it reverts to after so many years.
I don't know
when
man.
it comes to the comic book thing, but they got to do something because
as a
this had
miniseries.
so much potential. They just need to make it for adults.
Yeah, I mean, it could work as a miniseries instead of a movie on cable television.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, they could go a little bit harder, but they could still keep it so that it might not be a TVMA, but it'll be like a TV 14, and it'll still give you what you want, and you'll have a lot of content to eat up.
But I would be interested in seeing the source material. I wonder if it's anywhere close to it, or if they just took the concept and
I don't
went
know.
fuck all with it. Yeah, it's hard to tell with the earlier stuff because they really just didn't even. They were just looking for a quick idea. They never gave a shit about the product. Not like the ones today. That's why we have good movies today, because we have filmmakers that actually care about what they're making. They're not just part of the grindhouse.
I mean, think about what it was up against that summer or that April. Here, I'm going to pull it up. 2003 was a pretty, from what I remember, it was a pretty mediocre spring and summer. You had Pirates of the Caribbean that summer. I think that was the huge hit that summer. And then there was a couple of other hits, but it wasn't anything. That summer just wasn't anything great. All right, let's see. Bulletproof Monk came out on the 16th. It had no competition. Zero. That weekend.
And
I mean, it only made 37 million, 26 million in the States, and then 11 million domestic, foreign. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it just, and then okay, you go beyond that. X-Men 2 came out on April 30th. That made a lot of money. Daddy Daycare in the beginning of May.
And what would you want to rate this film, sir?
Matrix Reloaded came out in May. What is this currently at? This is
5.
currently at
5.
I think a 5 is fair.
It's a solid 5. It's
truly run down the middle mediocre.
Oh, it's so mediocre, and there was so much potential for non-mediocre, but no one felt willing to take it. It's weird to think of the 90s as a hesitant period, or it's not the 90s, the 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s, I feel like no one was willing to take any risks.
Yeah, no.
Well, when I say no one, I mean like mainstream Hollywood. I'm not talking about independent filmmakers that always take risks. There's always risk takers. But like the market as a whole was just very scared. I feel like at that point, I don't know. I'm you know numbers more than I do, but I get that feeling sometimes. It's like, yeah, no one just wanted to put anything out. They didn't want to. They just give us some money.
Yeah,
and we'll make you a film. Just leave us alone.
yeah, and I think they were hoping when they were releasing in April, they knew they had like 2 solid weeks before they had any real competition, and nobody cared.
Mm-hmm.
Just nobody cared.
So I rated it 5. We got it 5.
Good.
And that is what we think of Bulletproof Monk. What did we discuss about our movie challenge for tomorrow? Because I don't remember.
Or next week. So
next week, same thing.
So you texted me to get a dialogue going on what we should do for our 420th episode, or episode 420. And last we talked, we agreed that we were going to do Midnight Express.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
because
now, we don't have to. We could roll the wheel and just see what comes up. But obviously, the reason why we're going to review that film is Scott says to me, listen, for episode 420, we should review a movie that involves Maui Wowie.
or I could just get high while we review it.
I mean, you can. But I think the whole point was to review something that was based on marijuana.
I just couldn't. I mean, the only problem is it's kind of a very serious film for us to review on 420. Is.
Well,
yeah.
You said, do you know of any movies that have weed as a plot point that we could do? And I listed off a few, but I said if you wanted to review a good film,
my peeing.
The character in Midnight Express gets thrown in a Turkish prison because he tries to smuggle weed across the border.
I don't know if I want to watch Turkish Express. I don't know if I want to watch it. I've seen it before. I read the book, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
because it's based on a true story. So here's my question. Do you want to stick to reviewing something that involves weed, or do you want to spin the wheel and see what we get?
We're not a big weed channel. I don't think it's that important. It's not like it's 420 anywhere else. It's just our episode. So it was an idea, but I feel like I feel like the wheel might be a better bet.
Then let's spin the wheel.
Oh yeah, I added a few things, and I'll add this stuff.
Well, hold on. I have to import that. You have it?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so bear with me while I do that.
Yeah, the list is around 280 something now, I believe.
280 something. Holy crap. Okay, because my list is 239. Let me go get this list.
I could be wrong, or maybe I thought it was in the 280s.
Oh, that's right. It's in my Google Drive.
Yeah, we're Google Driving this, baby, right over the edge.
Shared right with me. Wheel of Suck. There it is. All right. Oh, come on. This list is so long. Here we go. Well, this list goes up only to 260.
All right, then that's good.
Well, because there's a separate Disney wheel.
Were you
counting those?
I got confused.
Okay.
No, that's separate. That's if we roll the Disney wheel.
Okay.
I was trying to condense it a bit instead of just putting all the Disney movies on. Dead Silence, the motion picture. Oh, wait, no, it's called Gravity. I'm sorry.
Oh, what I do have to do here is I have to create another window capture. And for the Wheel of Suck. You got to remember, I'm
okay.
working on one monitor here, and I'm not doing it the way we used to. So I have it.
Oh, that's right. Joey's got to move stuff around now.
Yeah. All right. All right. This actually works out pretty good, to be completely honest. Okay, we got the Wheel of Suck. It actually says it's
All right.
1 to 260.
Oops.
Okay. Are we ready to do this?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Rolling.
It's rolling. No whammies, no whammies. Big money, big money, big money. No whammies.
They're all whammies. What's the point?
Oh, the Blob franchise.
Huh.
So now, what does this mean? Does this mean we can pick the original Steve McQueen? We can do the remake?
It's open to interpretation. Personally, I would love to review the remake because for years now I've been seeing YouTube videos with headlines like this was way better than everybody remembers. And I was like, no, it sucked. It was horrible. I saw it in a theater. Stop. And I've never watched any of them, so I feel like it would be nice to revisit that and actually like see if I'm wrong.
So I agree. Oh God, this has got to be 10, 12 years ago, maybe even longer. I was asked for work. This was for work. Had nothing to do with computers. I was asked to write about some horror movies, and then we were going to put them on our website and link them to DVDs and books and whatnot because I work where I work. So I recruited yourself and another coworker, and we reviewed 13 movies. We wrote 13 movies. We each grabbed like 4, or somebody grabbed 5. I forget what it was. And one of the movies I wrote about was the remake of The Blob. And I should dig that out. We should put that on Moviesucktastic if we're going to review this next week.
Definitely, we have to start getting our written reviews up too. I'm starting to get the older ones and do some newer ones on Letterboxd. So that's where I'm putting them at the moment. But we can definitely have a section on our website too.
I can send you all 13 reviews if you want.
Well, only the ones that we wrote.
That is true. We don't want the other 4 that my coworker wrote. Yeah, I think between you and I, we reviewed 8 or 9 of them.
But are we good with The Blob?
I'm fine with The Blob. I mean, unless you want to spin again.
No, I'm actually kind of eager to watch this, and I may watch it after I watch it. I may watch a couple of those videos saying it was great and see how I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Let's blob it, man.
Let's do The Blob.
And we're kind of going backwards because my second choice would be the '70s Blob, the Return of the Blob, or the Blob Revenge. It's got a couple different names.
I've never even watched that one.
I remember as a kid watching it because that night we became frightened of our red beanbag chair in the corner of the bedroom. So I do remember that one. Yeah.
I've only ever seen two of the movies: the original Steve McQueen one, and then of course the 1988 remake.
Oh shit! Then maybe we should do the '70s one instead. If you haven't seen that one.
No. Now I want to watch the one from '88.
All right.
How about this? Right. Because I've seen the one from '88 so many times, I could skim that. I wrote an article about it. I know the movie backwards, front ways, sideways, all around. How about I watch the '70s one? We review the '88 one, but we can talk about the '70s one too, just as a comparison.
All right.
Does that work?
Yeah, maybe we'll even just review both of them. We'll figure it out. We're doing, at the very least, we're doing the remake.
Fuck, I'll watch all 3. I don't care.
At the very least, we're reviewing the remake. Possibly more. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
All right, wrap it up, baby.
All right, let me do that. Oh, I never brought up.
Oh,
I didn't bring up the
I never did stuff too.
Oofa. Jeez.
What are you doing, man?
Well, no, I have it all minimized, but everything goes full screen initially, and this is a 40-inch widescreen ultra wide. So when it takes up the whole screen, it's like, everything is gigantic on it. I love it. All right. All right, everyone. As always, thank you again for joining us. Episode 419 of Moviesucktastic, where we just reviewed Bulletproof Monk. You can go to our website at moviesucktastic.com. You can download the show. You can listen to the show right off of the website. It's got a built-in audio player. Or click the link, and it'll take you right to the YouTube video, and you can watch the show. Also, remember, you can join us live every week, Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, and you can hang out with us while we review a movie. You can go to our iTunes, and you can listen to the show there as well. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/moviesucktastic, and you can just see everything we post there. Everything from movie trailers to news to just whatever tickles our fancy. You can leave us email at themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can leave us email. We'll read it on the air. If you want, you can leave us voicemail, 908-514-4470, and we will play your audio. You can also go to our Letterboxd site, where Scott has been working very hard on that.
I wouldn't say very hard.
Well, you've been working hard on it. You've been working hard on it.
Okay.
All right. Go to our
take
Letterboxd
it.
site. It's letterboxd.com/moviesucktastic. And, you can download our Moviesucktastic app for your Android devices. Moviesucktastic.com/mst.apk, or download your favorite podcast player for whatever device you're using and do a search for Moviesucktastic. We come right up. That's the way I do it. I use a podcast player, and then I also use ours, and it works perfectly. And that's what I got. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson? All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week when we review The Blob from 1988 and possibly some other movies too.
It leaps and creeps and glides and slides across the floor, right through the door and all across the floor. A blotch, a splotch, be careful of the blob. Beware of the blob. Sorry.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.